I can tell you my view is that the PRC government, the only way to describe it is that they are the largest transnational organized crime group in the history of the world.
Gang, what's up? Aaron here, Canadian Looney. Wow, that's a big thing to say. That's Gary Clement. He's going to be backed up by Sam Cooper. They have a lot they want to share about how deeply the People's Republic of China, the PRC, have their claws dug into the backbone of Canadian society. Let's take a look.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
Thank you very much, Kevin. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. This is a culmination of a 2-year investigation. I want everybody to understand we didn't go looking for this. This investigation came to us. And what we found was money laundering, corruption, and elite capture at the highest levels. During our investigation, we had some brave citizens, islanders from Prince Edward Island that came forward and provided a depth of information that would provide for a law enforcement agency sufficient grounds to launch a criminal investigation. One of the things that we were able to look or ascertain was the amounts of money that was coming into the province was all in cash, consecutive $100 bills, brand new, in the amounts on a weekend of hundreds of thousands of dollars. This amounted to millions of dollars over the course of time that we looked into it over the number of years that the monastery, Bliss and Wisdom, has been operating in Prince Edward Island. We were able to establish that the monastery has set up a network of corporations. And if you look at it from a point of view of money laundering, it's what you would anticipate finding in an organized crime network. This monastery, if you look at it from a Dalai Lama's point of view, you would not anticipate finding corporations, land transfers, land flips, and citizens being paid under the table cash for residences and property. And that is what has happened in Prince Edward Island now for a period of a number of years, ever since the provincial nominee program came into existence and they were allowed in. The Master Jinyan, who came into the province, it is our belief from our investigation that he's tied directly back to the PLC, or the Communist Party in China. In my experience, having worked both in Asia and from 91 to 94, having collaborated with Sam Cooper and had hours of discussion with him over the many, many years, I can tell you my view is that the PRC government, the only way to describe it is that they are the largest transnational organized crime group in the history of the world.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here today. And what I want to drive home very briefly is I think the citizens of North America and the Western world now need to recognize the pattern recognition that reporting from myself, reporting on this excellent new book, and others, including reporting in the United States, is revealing to citizens that have had little idea of how extensive and pervasive the Chinese Communist Party's operations are, targeting North America and, alarmingly, Canada's smallest province. I'm here today because at the Bureau.news I have published a number of op-eds from Gary Clement and also Dean focused on their research in PEI. Before that, I worked with Gary and Dean to publish my book, Willful Blindness, in 2021. It was very much focused on my own discovery of Chinese organized crime, underground banking, and the Chinese Communist Party through the United Front, and how a flood of shady money had washed into Canada's west coast and Vancouver and essentially captured major portions of the economy. I was focused on urban landscapes. My colleagues are focused mostly on rural landscapes. And let me say the patterns they have revealed in PEI are much the same as have been revealed in Oklahoma, Maine, across the United States, where we now hear in congressional testimonies the Chinese Communist Party and their Chinese crime networks have bought massive amounts of farmland near critical infrastructure and leveraged it into organized crime marijuana operations that are consistent with not only running weed money, but fentanyl money, human trafficking. All kinds of money is being laundered through American land, and the American government is now starting to take that seriously. As my colleagues have indicated, not yet has the Canadian government or the PEI government taken it seriously. So there's a bigger picture here, and also at the Bureau, I've been reporting in the theme of pattern recognition that the UK government is now undergoing a scandal in which it appears Labour leader Keir Starmer and his government have suppressed the flagship, the largest espionage case ever focusing on China, targeting their own parliament, in which Conservative MPs were allegedly targeted for information collection from Chinese threat networks. The case was cancelled. We're reading more and more about it in UK's media. And what I want to say is, I recognized it seems almost the exact same story that I exposed at Global News, the targeting of Canada's parliament, in which Justin Trudeau's government apparently pressed down on reporting from Canadian intelligence that was pointing most alarmingly to China's attacks of Conservative MPs, gathering information on MPs such as Michael Chan, and supporting more friendly MPs from other parties. Thanks. Those are my remarks today.
And it continues, like the ties to China, like they're exposed on the House of Commons floor every day. Dan Albers is trying to do it right now. Let's take a peek.
The controversial billion-dollar loan to BC Ferries continues to take on water, thanks to a Czech News exclusive that shreds the bogus talking points that these ferries could not be built in Canada. We know that BC Ferries was presented a report that showed that Canadian shipyards could build these new vessels, creating thousands of jobs, billions in economic growth, and pride in Canada's craftsmanship. Shamefully, they rejected this Made in Canada option and instead went to communist China. With so many Canadian workers at the food bank, remind us again, why is the Prime Minister continually selling us out?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We've expressed our disappointment with how this process went on. We were not part, this is a Crown corporation, we were not part. However, I will tell you what we did, Mr. Speaker. We did sell a policy, buy Canadian. We are encouraging all of Canadian procurement to buy Canadian. We've also launched the Defence Procurement Agency to encourage our companies. We are building Canada with Canadian workers, with Canadian material. This is how we're building a Canadian strong economy, not by peddling slogans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
They are cutting checks to China, Mr. Speaker. The Liberals can pretend that this was all BC Ferries' sole decision, but it was this government that created the Canadian Infrastructure Bank, filled it with billions of taxpayer dollars, allowed the loan to go forward with no questions asked. Conservatives believe the loan should be cancelled because if Canadian shipyards, Canadian steel workers, Canadian jobs don't qualify for support, then what's Canadian about it? If this government is more comfortable funding shipyards in the People's Republic of China than jobs here in Canada, why not just call it the Beijing Infrastructure Bank and be done with it?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, the opposition is showing how they just want here to divide Canadian. We have stood, we are standing by Canadian worker, we're standing by Canadian industry, we are investing where we launched Build Canada Home in order to build Canada affordable home. Last time Conservatives were in power, they lost 800,000 affordable homes. So please do not give us a lesson about affordability. You lost 800,000 affordable homes. They lost 800 and they built six affordable homes, mister. So do not give us a lesson.
Again.
All right, folks, going to wrap it up with this. This is MP Rhonda Kirkland in committee facing our Public Safety Minister, Gary Ananang-Sangre. This guy is a clown, a goof. Rhonda is going to show him up. She's one of my new favorites. You'll be seeing her more in some of these videos. She's sharp, and Gary just is not sharp. Let's go out on this, guys. Thank you for watching. Aaron, this is embarrassing. Gary is a shame.
600 foreign nationals. They've committed violent crimes, I believe, in Canada, and they're missing. You could not say where they are. Do you know where one of them is?
Yeah, I can tell you there's 61 of them that are currently serving time.
61?
61.
I'm talking
40
about the
well,
600 that we don't know where they are. They're
well,
lost.
if
So
I'm-
of the 600 that are lost, that we don't know where they are, do we have a clue on 1, 2, 3, 10? What's the number that we know where they are now of those 600?
Madam Kirkland, 61 of them are in detention, are serving time
Okay.
right now. 41 of them, their warrants, they're no longer, the warrants have been closed. 48% of the 600 are not, have not committed a violent offense or have not, so there
Okay.
are offenses like mischief, failing to comply, and so on.
So we're still looking. We're still looking
we're
for
still,
them.
We're
Okay.
still
So,
trying to locate them, yes.
Safety is of utmost priority. You are the public safety minister. It is your job to keep the public safe. Would that be correct?
I've indicated from the
Yes,
outset that that
that's
is my
correct.
responsibility.
Perfect.
Yes.
As a European, I am a
European.
European, actually.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
Irish citizen. Yeah. So there you
welcome,
go.
welcome.
Speaking as a European,
WTF.
How many kids did you molest with Jeffrey Epstein?
More than just elbows.
And as the most European of the non-European countries,
being aware of what potential conflicts of interest you
what
sought
possible
to avoid.
conflict would you have, Stephanie? Stephanie, I'm complying with the rules. I'm complying with the rules in advance. Come on, for now.
These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, you're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
All right, gang, thank you all very much for watching. Aaron, Canadian Looney, like, share, subscribe. Smash that subscribe. We're trying to grow this thing. Canadian Federal Politics. Get yours right here. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.